Hello everyone and welcome back to Conspiracy. So I got a green screen and I have a couple lights behind me lighting up the green screen. So hopefully this works out. I had to change the color temperature of the light I use for my face. So hopefully this looks okay. If not, I'll have to get different lights, which is fine, but we're going to work with what we have for this video and the next video. Anyway, welcome back. So I've gotten a lot of comments on my YouTube and my TikTok on the purple streetlights, so I wanted to kind of make a follow-up video on that, going over the theories that I didn't go over in my last video. I'll kind of go through a list of the ones that we're going to go over today, then I'll get into each one. Thank you for choosing to spend some time with me today. I hope you enjoy. Remember to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and remember, this is just a parody haha jokes channel. Let's get into it. The following theories on purple streetlights were commented on my videos across YouTube and TikTok. Some aren't necessarily theories, they're just saying why a manufacturer error isn't possible, or like more streetlights are showing up in other places. I'm sure if you saw my first video, you'll remember that I emailed Rocky Mountain Power to ask them about who manufactures the streetlights. I still haven't received a response months later, so the theories, according to the YouTube and TikTok comments that I missed, are as follows. Optogenetics. Data transmission. Unvaccinated go to concentration camps. The COVID-19 Great Reset. Identify who has parasitic funguses. Turns people gay. It's not an LED malfunction because LEDs don't make that color naturally and blacklight is more expensive. Luciferase. Mess up memory storage in humans. L17A. They're now being seen in another country, Puerto Rico, which is like a US kind of like satellite state, but... So blacklight is used to read secret messages or see blood and other human bodily fluids at crime scenes. So these purple streetlights are used to verify the mark of the beast. And then finally, 5G weapon tech. Optogenetics. What is optogenetics? So optogenetics is a method for controlling a neuron's activity using light and genetic engineering. Genetic engineering being, of course, the process where scientists change the information in the genetic code of a living thing. This is a theory that came about because the light started showing up around the same time that the COVID vaccine came out. The COVID vaccine, of course, being an mRNA vaccine, which sends messenger RNA to your cells to tell it what to do. Since these lights started showing up around the same time that the vaccine rolled out, it's easy to conflate the two. Optogenetics has been around for a little bit. I actually found an article from 2010 called Optogenetics, Controlling the Brain with Light. There have been a lot of conspiracies revolving around the COVID vaccine. I won't really get into those outside of like these side theories such as this, but you can see the connection that people have drawn here. Data transmission falls under the same category as optogenetics, but less so with the vaccine from what I can tell. I found an article from 2017 with the title High-Speed Communication Systems Based on Ultraviolet Radiation. So ultraviolet radiation, black lights, another name for blacklight is UV, which stands for ultraviolet, so ultraviolet light. This is basically sending the same data transmission as mentioned earlier, but without the COVID vaccine through the UV spectrum. So the unvaccinated going to concentration camps has to do with the first theory, I think, where they will essentially use the lights to send communications to the brains of the vaccinated to go somewhere safe, and then round up everyone who hasn't been vaccinated and send them to camps where they're either locked up or forced to take the COVID vaccine. At this point, however, I don't know what the COVID vaccine would be for, so who really knows? The COVID-19 Great Reset is less of a theory and more so a reality on this joking channel, haha. So the Great Reset has been something running in conspiracy circles for decades, essentially. It's where one world government takes over and resets laws and practices and schooling, etc. for less freedom of people and more control over the people. The weirdest part about this one is that once COVID started, the World Economic Forum started an initiative for economic recovery called the Great Reset. Now, either the World Economic Forum is pulling one of the funniest pranks of all time for a organization that has never done anything funny in their lives, or they know what they're doing with the name. The black lights here has to do with the first theory again, which they would use the data transmission to have the vaccinated people do their bidding, essentially. So this one was interesting. Identify who has a parasitic fungus. Outside of something like The Last of Us, I'm not entirely sure what good this would do. I can't see it doing any harm, honestly. If it's trying to find a parasitic fungus, then that can only be a plus, right? It doesn't really coincide with the usual theories on here, so I'm not 100% sure on this one, but it was commented, so I am mentioning it. Someone in my comments said that the purple streetlights turn people gay. I'm not entirely sure why it would turn people gay. From what I was able to just like use my brain and think about, it's so that it's like a way of population control, because if you're gay, you're not going to have kids. The less kids you have, the less people there are. The less people there are, the easier it is for a government to control everyone. So instead of killing people that already exist for population control, they just make it so that new people aren't being born. So this one was commented not too long ago. They said that it wasn't an LED malfunction because LEDs don't make that color naturally and that blacklight is more expensive. The person who commented this also said that they install lights for a living. So, I mean, obviously you can lie on the internet, right? Like I can say I'm Jack Black and people probably wouldn't believe me, but I have no reason not to believe that this guy installs lights for a living. I used to work in a theater as like a lighting technician, like a live theater, and I can say that black lights are in fact more expensive than regular lights. We almost never used them because they were more expensive. We're just a community theater. So basically this is saying that if they are indeed black lights, it has to be intentional. Also, I personally haven't heard of any of these streetlights being fixed. Like I've heard that they're like, oh yeah, this is a malfunction and we're going to fix them, but I haven't heard of them actually being fixed yet. So, I don't know. Luciferase is also something that has been running in conspiracy circles for a while due to its name. It's a generic term for a class of enzymes that produce bioluminescence, which is just light. The name comes from the Latin word Lucifer, which actually means light bearer. The reason some Bibles have Satan to be named as Lucifer is because in the original text it refers to him as the day star, and it got translated to different languages, it got to Latin, and kept Lucifer instead of day star. This is essentially saying that the purple light will activate the enzymes in you, causing you to glow, and this is how the one world government's going to be able to tell who and who is not vaccinated, and who lives and dies, I guess. I'm not entirely sure. Like once the one world government comes in, I'm not entirely sure their role. But is anyone ever sure of the government's role in anything? So someone said that this is to mess up the memory storage in humans. Human memory actually can be influenced by light, by both the amount and the color of light. There have been multiple studies on how light can affect dementia, attention, arousal, memory. I found a .gov website discussing it because I wasn't too sure, but then I found a .gov website talking about it, and then I found multiple studies. However, while researching this particular topic, I found that purple lights showed an increase in cognitive function in the mice that were exposed to it, as opposed to regular light. So, if anything, I think this would be a help and not a hindrance. L17A is a ribosomal protein that encodes genes in people. The theory in this one is that the purple light is used to control the protein to control the genes in people. I found an article from MIT from 2013 that's called Controlling Genes with Light. New techniques can rapidly turn genes on and off. So this theory goes on to say that these lights can turn off parts of our genes that are beneficial for freedom and detrimental to the one world government. So people crave freedom less and more so crave to be controlled. So black lights are used at crime scenes to see all sorts of human fluids and read secret messages that can't be seen just by like the naked human eye. The theory here is that since you can see things with black light that you can't without it, it shows the mark of the beast in preparation for the second coming. Now this might be a controversial take, especially on this kind of channel, but I don't think the COVID vaccine is the mark of the beast. I know many who do, but I personally I don't think it is. So people are saying that this has to do with 5G weapon technology. 5G is something that was rolled out recently. It's the 5th generation mobile network, hence the name 5G, 5th gen. There has been a lot of conspiracies surrounding 5G and how it affects people's health, etc., that have been going on since 5G's inception. One of the most common theories on 5G is that it messes with people's DNA by being sent and delivered at certain frequencies that can mess with people's DNA. This theory specifically is saying that the purple lights help accelerate this by either helping expose the signals to people or by extending the 5G signals. Okay, so that's everything that I missed according to my comments on the last video. What do you think? Did I miss anything else? Let me know in the comments below if I did. Maybe if there's enough, I'll make another follow-up. Thank you for choosing to spend some time with me today. I'll catch you in the next one.